Hello, I am Commissioner Emma I. Darnell. Welcome to Mighty Five Conversations. Conversations is a monthly information and communication program focusing on the sustainable community. Economically strong, environmentally safe, with liberty and justice for all. The topic for today's conversation will be the Fulton County LEED Silver Program. Thank you for joining us. I will be back in a moment. Joining me in the conversation today is Belinda Morrow. Mrs. Morrow serves as president of 2M Design Consultants, which is the lead contractor for the Fulton County Library Construction LEED Silver Program. Ms. Morrow earned a Bachelor of Arts degree in Industrial Design and Technology from the Texas A&M University. Go Aggies. Is that the right word?
That is exactly right. Thank you so much,
We're so happy to have
Darnell.
you here, Ms. Morrow, and we appreciate so much the important work that you are doing with our program managers who are responsible for the construction of our library facilities program.
Thank you.
Want to talk to you especially today about LEED Silver.
Okay.
So many times when we held community meetings
Yes.
before beginning these library projects, because we know, as you know, that community input is essential, not only in terms of board policy,
Yes.
but you professionals have told us the same
Absolutely.
thing, that you don't begin constructing a building in your studios.
That's right.
You begin in the community, is that right?
Absolutely.
And you've been there, and you've heard the kinds of concerns and interests that the community has had. And so many times, we've had questions, will this be a LEED
Yes.
building? Will this be a LEED building? And I said, well, now, you know, the other kinds of points that they were making had to do with the building, had to do with services, had to do with books and programs. What is this about LEED? We want to talk about that today.
Thank you.
Well, Ms. Morrow, I want you to tell us a little more about what you do as the lead contractor on this $250 million construction program, of which the taxpayers of Fulton County approved.
Thank you so much, Commissioner. It is my pleasure to be here with you. I am very passionate about the work with the library program. And LEED, as you know, stands for Leadership in Energy and Environmental Design.
Yes.
And LEED is a protocol that was developed about 1995 because in the United States we did not have a building rating system for building a green building. And there were several real estate developers claiming to have green buildings, but there was no way to really measure
Could I
that.
just stop you right there?
Yes.
What is a green building?
A green building is a building that looks at the health and the environmental impacts of its occupants. So if you build a green building or a LEED building, or also it's called sustainable construction, that means it looks at about 5 different areas of impacts on human health. For instance, sustainable sites. We want to make sure that on these 10 library projects that there is no negative impact or stormwater runoffs to neighboring facilities or buildings or sites.
It's about health impacts.
So it's about health impacts.
It's about the customer, in
It's
other
about.
words.
It's all about the customer. It's all about the patron and the occupants in that
see.
building. It's making them the indoor air quality excellent. It's making sure that there are no volatile organic compounds that are off-gassing in the space from carpets and fabrics and finishes. So there are several different areas of green building that is incorporated into a LEED project.
It has a conservation element to it also, doesn't it, Ms. Morrow?
It does. It does. It makes sure that you do not develop in areas that are inappropriate. For instance, farmlands or green fields. It's better if you can develop within existing projects that have maybe been on that site before, but it's a chance to revitalize that area. And so if you revitalize an existing area, say it's a site that is dark, that is no longer open for business, you take that existing site and you recreate a LEED certified green building. We're going for LEED Silver on the library programs, and that's a range of 50 to 59 LEED points that you get for a LEED Silver building. That means that you have accomplished
so
in
you
5
get that
different
grading
areas.
system that
you
you
get
didn't
the grading
have.
system that you did
So
not have.
you just can't say that you have a green building.
Absolutely, you have to prove
You have
it.
standards.
You have standards in 5 areas: sustainable sites, water efficiency, energy and atmosphere, materials and resources, and indoor environmental quality.
Let's talk about that indoor
Okay.
environmental quality, because that's something that we're very sensitive
Yes.
about in District 5 because of the high percentage of respiratory
Absolutely.
diseases that we have, including asthma.
Absolutely.
And there's a fierce
Yes.
interest
Yes.
in indoor air quality.
Indoor air
How
quality.
does the LEED program deal with
Address
that?
that? One of the ways that we address it is making sure that during construction that building materials are kept safe and protected. If you have a site construction and you bring in, for instance, doors for inside the building, if those doors got damp or wet, you're starting to create an interior environment that is damaged. So we make sure that building materials are kept covered and protected. We make sure the HVAC system during construction is dust-free. We keep it covered with plastic. So all of those actions by the general contractor and the workers, which creates green jobs, is to make sure that that building is free of dust and particles and volatile organic compounds like paints. And we use paints and solvents that are low VOCs. And so that's making sure, low or no VOCs, that when you walk into a building, you don't smell the off-gassing of chemicals, and that's keeping the building safe. So occupants with asthma can walk into a library and feel totally comfortable because their eyes are not irritated by the off-gassing of materials in construction.
So it's about building materials.
It's about
not
building
about
materials.
just tampering with a few things after
Right.
a building is up. It begins with the design.
It begins with the design.
And throughout the construction.
Absolutely. And everything you do to that site and to that building interior can impact. When we want to make sure that the workers, when they walk into the building during construction, that there's absolutely no smoking. We don't want smoke getting into the fabrics and into the building
even
HVAC
before the
system,
building is up.
even during construction. And that's where the green jobs come in. There's a new need for a new cadre of green workers that understand how to build LEED buildings and green buildings. That's a little different than traditional construction.
Well, that perks up everybody's
Yes,
interest. I can
yes, it
guarantee you,
does.
because jobs, as you know from having
Yes.
attended all the community meetings, it really is number one.
It's my passion.
And we are very interested, Mrs. Morrow, that the 2M Design Consultants firm, along, of course, with the program manager on this project, have focused on integrating the board's interest in creating jobs with this project and with the LEED program. Tell us how that can be integrated.
Well, there's an exciting new LEED pilot credit. It's LEED pilot credit number 81, and it says that if the general contractor will work with the community or unemployed workers, maybe from the Department of Labor or the county's Workforce Development Program, to train them using a GPRO, that's Green Professional, a fundamental green building training program, that you will actually get an additional LEED point for that. And so instead of
Oh, you can earn
so
points
you can
by
earn
providing
points.
training for green jobs.
Not just the training, because we're all about training and placement.
Oh,
so
thank you.
if we tie
I
it,
tell folks all the time, I like job readiness, but when are you going to get to placement?
absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, so this program involves not just training, but placement as well. On that project?
Placement on the county's library projects. That's what my passion is. So my goal is to talk with each of the CMs at risk about the G-Pro
That's
lead
the main
point.
contractor.
That's the main contractor.
Yes.
For each of the 10 libraries.
Yes.
About this lead pilot opportunity. So it's an easy way to receive, of course, great community outreach, but it's an easy way for the community to receive training on green jobs.
Well, we're very excited about that. Of course, we have the First Source Jobs program, but the county manager and his staff are constantly looking for ways that we can leverage the money that we are spending for services. We can leverage those dollars to provide jobs and training for the people in the community. I was very interested in what you said earlier, Ms. Morrow, about how this program can actually revitalize the community.
Absolutely.
I want to talk to you about that when we come back. We have a little break right now.
Thank you.
We want to get into that.
Yes.
We'll be back in a moment. Stay with us. You had mentioned earlier, Mrs. Morrow, that the LEED program, LEED Silver, can be not only an approach to protect the health status of people, of users, but can actually be used to revitalize a community. Just tell us a little bit more about that.
I will. In 2001, I became one of the first 100 LEED accredited professionals in the nation, and I did so because I could see afoot a green industrial revolution that was going to change.
When was that, 2001?
2001, yes. 2001.
You were ahead of the curve.
Yes, I was. I
Anyway.
was one of the green pioneers, and I'm very proud to be a LEED legacy. But it was so important to understand that traditional construction was going to become obsolete, and that green construction, making buildings energy efficient and environmentally friendly, was going to rule the day. And
it's here now.
And it's here. And my passion is that underserved communities not be left behind from the green movement. And so
Which they have been.
Which they have been.
Yes.
And so with the Green Jobs Training Program through the county's Workforce Development Initiative, that can change. And that's really what I am passionate about focusing on with the Library LEED Silver Program initiative.
Well, now tell us once again, Mrs. Morrow, how those points work.
Okay.
You can be LEED Silver, and I guess is there a gold?
Yes, there's the baseline is LEED certified, and then there's silver, and then there's gold, and then there's platinum, and it's based on a 100-point system.
I see. And you indicated that prior to the LEED program, there were no real objective criteria that the customer could use to determine whether or not this really is in fact a green building.
And it was critical because just like consumers fully understand by looking at their food labels what the contents of those packages are.
Absolutely, we should know.
We should know. The LEED plaque is a plaque that lets a consumer know that building is quality.
Yes. Well, now tell us a little bit about the Northwest Regional Library at Scotts Cross. And you are, of course, as a part of the program management team, involved with all 8 of the libraries that will be under construction in phase 1.
Yes.
But I know that you are working in one of those libraries, is the Northwest Regional Library.
Yes.
And I'd like for you to just give us your thoughts now in terms of where where we are with respect to the LEAD program, and,
Okay.
and whatever comments you'd like to make about the program
Right.
generally. But we know that your area of interest and focus, primary interest and focus, is on the LEAD program. What are you
That's
all
right.
doing now? I know the designers, I think, are developing the drawings for the contractor now.
Absolutely.
Are you
that's
all involved
correct.
at this point? Or
Yes,
tell me what
yes.
you all will be doing now.
One of the first things we did for the Northwest Atlanta Library was to conduct a LEAD charrette. And a charrette
I
is a
remember
term, yes, it's a term that means cart, believe it or not. It was designed or originally used by the École des Beaux-Arts School of Architecture in Paris, France. It's a term that means the student is working fiercely to do the final touches on their design so that they can present it to the jury. And so a charrette means, for LEAD, we're working together, all stakeholders. We're taking everything that the community has asked for, and we're planning the LEAD points that we want to go for that particular project.
So that comes out of that exchange.
Absolutely,
it's
it
on a
does.
case-by-case basis then, isn't it?
Since there are no cookie-cutter libraries, each project is unique to the community's request.
Yes.
And so we take those community input and we study the community's demographics. Like, for instance, Northwest Atlanta, there are a lot of children there, a lot of young people. It's one of the most beautiful, environmentally pristine areas in Fulton County, with its Chattahoochee River and Proctor Creek. It's just spectacular environment.
Everybody's really excited about that location.
It's very beautiful, 7.66 acres, and we're working right now in design development just to make sure, even spending a lot of time on the site, that we conserve and preserve that site to make sure that it remains environmentally pristine.
That's going to be great news
yes.
To the community.
Absolutely.
Because we feel sometimes that we get so caught up in our natural and laudable inclination to progress and to do bigger and better, until sometimes we think we're leaving elements behind
Absolutely.
that are essential to the cultural history of the area, and LEAD is involved in protecting that as well.
Right, because the site has beautiful trees already in place that have been there.
Questions were asked about that.
Yes.
Will we keep our trees?
You'll get to keep your trees. The building will be closer to the two main streets there, Hollywood and Perry.
On the line,
on the bus
like
line.
that.
All of those are LEAD points that you get.
Is that right?
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. So, and we also get a LEAD point if there are 10 community businesses within a 1/2 mile radius.
Interesting.
So right now we've counted 9, so we
need
to get one more. So we can get that LEAD point.
I'm going to go out there, look a little harder and find one more for you.
We will have a year to have
those are LEAD points.
Those are LEAD points.
Isn't that
It's about
interesting?
community connectivity. That's what LEAD is about. It's all about the community.
That is so interesting.
Yes. Yes.
It is designed, of course, to protect the health status of folks.
Yes, it is.
And to protect them indoor as well as outdoors.
Absolutely.
But that community connectivity is something that I think most of us as lay people would not know would be a part of an environmental thrust.
It really is.
But we know that community connectivity drives the government.
Yes, it does.
And it drives this program as well.
It does. And when you have green buildings that are all about the community, you'll have communities with less crime. When you create green jobs, you'll have communities with less crime.
Yes.
So it's
all
more
than
about
just the physical environment, isn't it?
Yes, yes. It's about the people.
Yes.
It's about the people.
That's very interesting. Ms. Morrow, I'd be interested in knowing, and I know many of our viewers, how you became interested in the field of industrial design.
Well, that's a wonderful question. I love the design and architectural industry. When I was in 6th grade, believe it or not, we had some speakers to come to our school in Omaha, Nebraska. I grew up in Tyler, Texas, but went to middle school in Nebraska. And we were talking about different careers. And someone mentioned design and architecture. And I had been making furniture for my little dollhouse, and I just knew when I heard that. When I heard that, I was like, man, that's what I want to be.
You were thinking about this a long time.
I have. And I want to encourage other young people to be thinking about it. There are not a lot of females in the design and architectural industry, and I've spoken with organizations like NOMA, the National Organization of Minority Architects, just to encourage young people in particular, people of children of color, to develop an interest in this industry.
Well, we're glad to hear that, because we know that this has been the experience of folks in the past.
Yes.
You know, we have had folks who always came out to the schools, came to the meetings and events in the community, and they were a part of the community, and of course that encouraged us, you know, to see the possibilities.
Absolutely.
And Texas A&M,
Texas
what was that
A&M.
experience like?
Well, it was different, but I enjoyed it. I focused very much.
You were a Texan by that time.
Well, I was born in Texas. I just went to middle school in the Midwest, so I'm definitely Texan. I'm from 3 generations of business owners, and so I want to encourage entrepreneurship.
That's important.
It is very important, and with this Green Jobs training, you could become your own boss and maybe do green housekeeping. That's a requirement that the new libraries are going to have. Once we build them sustainably and good indoor air quality, we don't want chemicals from cleaning products to come in and ruin the environment.
Well, Ms. Morrow, I tell you, I've learned a lot.
Okay,
I know you've briefed me before, but I've learned a lot.
I'm passionate about it.
We can tell that, and that is so important. The Board of Commissioners has made, as I said earlier, the sustainable community a major priority of this government. And we are very, very pleased that with a $250 million construction program, we can say to the people of this county and of this district that we understand that health status is also as important as a beautiful building.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for being with us, Ms. Morrow.
Thank you so much, Commissioner.
We look forward to marching in the Northwest Regional Library.
It is my pleasure, and please have me back as we develop more.
Thank you, Ms. Morrow.
Thank you.
I'll be back in a moment with closing thoughts. Stay with us. Public health officials have advised the Board of Commissioners that the improvement of health status and the reduction of health disparities involves much more than diet and exercise. The air we breathe indoors and outdoors has also been classified by health officials as a determinant of health and how long and how well we live. The library's LEED Silver program, used in the construction of 8 new libraries, is an evidence-based strategy that is designed to achieve these objectives. That's all the time we have for today's conversation. Until next time, stay strong. To learn more about today's conversation, contact me at 404-612-8222. That's 404-612-8222. You can also email me at emma.darnell@fultoncountyga.gov. Visit us online at emmadarnell.com or connect with us on Facebook or Twitter.